A very good evening to you on this very last day of January 2024. Welcome aboard. This is Uctv News. I am Sunday Gloria Abwatch. As Uganda joins the rest of the world to commemorate World Wetlands Day this Friday, to be held under the theme Wetlands and Human Well-Being, this underscores the critical need for human stewardship of the world's wetlands. The Minister for Water and Environment, Sam Cheptori, noted that wetland degradation continues in areas all over the country and urged local leaders to enforce laws mandating wetland protection.
The government of Uganda has made great efforts over the last 30 years to ensure the conservation and wise use of wetland resources. For example, a presidential order issued on 1st April 2020 noted the country was already feeling the effects of encroachment on the natural resources, and therefore directed the ministers of water and environment and that of local government to remove all the people from wetlands, shorelines, riverbanks, and the government forests. So, as a ministry, we have the support of His Excellency the President in ensuring that wetlands in this country are protected. These efforts have been timely and necessary to halt the degradation of wetlands and to bring the process of wetland conversion into control. But we must not be complacent. Wetland abuse still continues in a number of areas in the country, in the form of infilling drainage, encroachment, and unguided agricultural use. Consequently, World Wetlands Day should serve to remind all stakeholders that all is not yet well, and now is the time to act, and act firmly to redouble our efforts. I therefore urge all leaders at all levels in the country, especially the local council leaders, to get acquainted with the various laws and the procedures governing the management of wetlands, and to ensure that these laws are enforced in their localities without fear or favor. In addition, communities should be encouraged to develop management plans that clearly stipulate wetlands user and conservation zones within the existing institutional and legal frameworks. Ladies and gentlemen, Uganda for the last 5 years has been acclaimed for the tremendous work it has accomplished in the area of wetland conservation and management, because we know that wetlands are for life. Finally, I wish to inform you that the national venue for the celebrations of Wetland Day will be held at Kaunda Grounds, Gulu City.
And meanwhile, the Executive Director, National Environment and Management Authority, NEMA, Akankwasha Barirega, updated the media on steps undertaken by the government to hold and stop the approval of developments in wetland ecosystems.
A lot of things is happening, including, first of all, stopping further approval of any developments in wetland. That was the first step taken by government to put a halt to any further approval of any developments in wetlands except sustainable fisheries management on the edges of wetlands. You are aware of the presidential directives in that respect, cabinet decisions, and subsequent suspension of any licensing for activities in wetlands. So that's the first step. Government realizing that there is a problem and taking a step to halt the problem and then nurture recovery. And as you've heard from the Commissioner and the Minister, the recovery is already happening. We lost our wetland cover from 15.6% to 8.9%. You can see the drop from 15.6% of the country surface, excluding water of course, to only 8.9%. But because of government efforts and because of citizen awareness, and thanks to you for informing the citizenry, there is the reverse of the curve from 8.9 now to 9.3. I think that's a big achievement for the country to celebrate, that we have halted further loss of wetlands and we are on a steady path to recovery. To me, that's a positive trajectory. Cutting down of trees by KCCA. I think the trees you are talking about, of the palm trees which are drying up, you are talking of the beautification in preparation for NAM. We have seen this is happening. The plants require constant watering so that we do not lose them, and KCCA is aware of this matter, and they are taking all steps to ensure that the greening that happened before NAM is maintained. We work together, but they are an authority, as you know. They are in charge of the Kampala affairs, and the green parks are directly under their charge, but we work together in the spirit of one government. The government established the Environment Protection Police Unit, as you know, under the Uganda Police Force. But in addition, Section 25 of National Environment Act requires government to establish a dedicated environment protection force for enforcing the laws on environment. And thanks to government, the operationalization of Section 25 has already started. You've heard about restructuring at NEMA. One of the areas of reform is establishment of a dedicated force for enforcement of environmental laws. So the Environment Protection Force has been formed. Initial personnel of now we are at around 120 have been already recruited. They are going for training. We are working with the Uganda Police Force to finalize the curriculum for their training, because the law requires that they have to be trained by Uganda Police Force. So finalization of curriculum is undergoing. I think the last meeting was this week on Tuesday. And so we are on course to establishing a dedicated force which will be working hand in hand with the Army, with the Uganda Police Force, to enforce all the laws on environment. And so with that force, we should be able to significantly reduce or even halt encroachment of wetlands. Part of the force is supposed to have 2,000 personnel dedicated for wetlands. 2,000 dedicated for wetlands. Another 2,000 dedicated for forests. So once the force is fully operational, we should be able to have significant presence on the ground. The NEMA budget, government is working on its improvement. Of course, it is still small, as you have said, and it's not only NEMA, by the way. It is environment management budgets generally are not adequate. From the local governments to the ministry and its agencies, we need more funding for environment management. But most importantly, like the minister said, environment management is not like a road or a hospital where government will invest, put the infrastructure, and work is done. Environment management is totally different. It requires all of you and the government working together, because government cannot control the way you live on a day-to-day basis.
And away from that, as part of community outreach initiatives ahead of the Tarehe Sita celebrations, a UPDF group embarked on cleaning Muterere Town Council Movit joint efforts to support the celebration of Tarehe Sita.
We are glad to be here. Our contribution has been brought here, and it's that each time when the army calls us, we turn up in big numbers and we come up with what we think we can give our communities. So, Brigadier, for the peace that we have in this country, I believe that can be counted on the army and the military presence in this country, that we cannot manufacture products and sell and make money if we don't have peace. So many countries, so many nations do not have the peace that we're enjoying today. So I would like to thank the security apparatus in a special way for that.
For the unwavering support we have received, always during the American activities. It doesn't go unrecognized. It's true, we don't give security for the sake of it. Security is the means to an end, and the end is investment. So for us in uniform, we get proud when we see that the product we are giving the country is yielding fruits, which is more and more investments being done in the economy. And so when we see products of our sweat being brought to us to support now, our going back to the community is very gratifying. And so we want to thank Movit as a company for being there for us when we go back to the communities.
We have started with cleaning the streets of Muterere Town Council, and we are still continuing to clean, and the exercise is going on very well. The population is very positive. We thank everyone who participated in this exercise, who gave in effort, like the civilian community. They contribute, they gave us the bags which we are using to carry the dust.
National Water takes 80% of the Bujiri population, and we are very glad and honored to find that we are participating in an activity like this that involves cleaning the environment. First of all, as a government parastatal, this is we are directly linked to Ministry of Water and Environment. So anything to do with the environment, it means that we have to come in and work hand in hand.
Now, President Yoweri Museveni has promoted 382 personnel and confirmed 13 senior and junior officer ranks of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. And now, from the opposition party, the Uganda People's Congress has appealed to the government to establish a policy to harmonize school fees in Uganda. This follows the recent release of the primary leaving examinations last week, where the examination body UNEB reported that the number of students that start primary one and fail to sit for PLE is increasingly alarming. UPC blames the increasing cases of school dropout on different variations, notably the exorbitant school fees charged by schools, which they say is unfair to struggling parents and students.
So the question should be asked ourselves is that where are these pupils? Where are these children? Are those who are grabbing people's bags to town? Are those the criminals we are witnessing every now and then? Where are they? Over 1 million pupils or children who registered in 2016 but never completed P7 in that 7-year cycle. Which include financial challenges, early child marriages, teenage pregnancies, child labor, especially for boy child, discrimination of persons with disabilities, and domestic violence, which separates families leaving children victims of circumstances. Very much aware that the foundation of our children is pre-primary and then primary education. So if the foundation is not well grounded, we cannot be sure of the prosperous future for these very children. The government should ensure that the universal primary education provides quality education service as opposed to just providing environment, as opposed to providing access to schools for children. Most of these children, especially in UPE, which government says there is free access to education, is the opposite. What we have now for our children is access to schools, but there is no access to quality education. It requires setting a conducive learning environment for both our pupils and teachers, which includes oriented to sufficient instructional materials. And here we mean that these students have textbooks. If you're talking about textbooks, what's the ratio? The textbook-student ratio. Here you find 5 pupils or students attending or using one textbook, which is not even recommended according to standards. You find one teacher attending to over 100 students, which is not even recommended. The recommended one is just about 50, but should be 40, it should be 30 to 40 around there.
Thank you for watching, and coming up is Today in History. It is UCTV News. We are going to take a very short break and we'll be back with more stories.
UCTV, good news for all.
Catch incredible stories of resilience, success.
You can manage that money
with a topping of inspiration.
Get interested in people, not interested in yourself.
Inspire, achieve, repeat.
You are watching UCTV, good news for all. For this and more, tune in to Kasese Get Radio 100.5 in Western Region, located at the hill of the Diocese of Kasese. KGR brings you all Catholic programs and an advertising platform in all our radio shows like Good Morning Renzori, Chama Towoka, Ukute, the business show, Propeller, the request show and sports, Evaluation, Bahinga Bakuluka, Late Night Show, and many others. Our other services include Isuzu Tipa, a Noah car, public address system, live band, Omokekera, an audio recording studio, and outside live broadcast. For more information, call 0773-597-166 or visit our website www.kasesegetradio.com. Kasese Get Radio, Omusondoria, the voice of truth.
It's unbelievable. Now, companies, businesses, and organizations can make bulk payments easily with Centenary Bank's corporate center SWIFT to anyone without the need of a bank account, anywhere, anytime, just like that. The recipient needs only their phones, national ID, and token number received via SMS to withdraw money from any center agent nearby. The Centenary Bank's corporate center SWIFT is simple, secure, and convenient. You think it's too good to be true? Visit any of our branches countrywide or visit www.centenarybank.co.ug to know more. Centenary Bank. Centenary Bank is a member center group regulated by the Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits of up to 10 million shillings are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Terms and conditions apply.
UCTV. Good news for all.
Do stay tuned to the Uganda Catholic Television. I am Sunday Gloria Watch. Wishing you the best of the coming new month, a loving month, which is February. Good night to you all.